Welcome to Mornings with Patricia. Happy Monday. No, it's a holiday tomorrow, but happy Memorial Day. I wanted to go ahead and do it anyway because even if you are normally working and you'll be home tomorrow, I still wanted you to have a Monday morning with Patricia. So I hope that your weekend has been really good so far. I know there's so many people out there who's sick right now, and my love and blessings and energy goes out to you. I wanted to read today from a book called I Heard God Laughing, Poems of Hope and Joy. I don't know if you can see that. Renderings on Hafiz by Daniel Ladinsky. And Hafiz was a poet who lived in the 1300s, and let's see, where did he was a Persian poet. Yeah, I don't. So, in the 1300s. And what's interesting about Hafiz, I mean, I love Hafiz, but his poetry, his poetry is often translated into songs, done as songs. And when I was in India, I think we were on our way to Bhopal. I can't remember. It was a smaller plane, and we were on our way, and we were boarding the plane, and I saw this woman putting something in the upper compartment, and I don't know, it was probably, 250, 300 seats, something like that. And I just knew that I was going to be sitting in her row. We came up and we had our luggage and everything, Mary and I did, and she's like, "Oh, can I position this because this is a very special instrument?" And I said, "Sure, yeah, no problem." So then she was sitting on the outside, Mary was by the window seat, and I was in the middle, and I looked at her. And before I had went to India, actually in January, I think it was, when they started the Walk of Hope for Sri M, they had done some fundraising, and I remembered there was this woman who was a documentary producer, and had done something on Hafiz, and I just had a feeling, out of all of India, right, and we were way away from where she lived and had done this, out of all of India, I knew I was sitting next to that woman, and I didn't have a good recollection of what she looked like, so anyway, and I can't remember her name. I have it written down, and I can't remember the name of her instrument, but anyway, I asked her, "What are you doing?" And then I introduced myself, and she's like, "Oh my goodness, I know Shriyam, and I know Augie, and Augie is a friend of mine, Karini, who I know." And wow, it was really amazing. And so she told me about the work she did with other musicians on Hafiz, and that the instrument she had was actually a very old instrument that was found in a old temple somewhere in India. So it's such a small world. We both marveled at that, how God likes to play and how God likes to laugh, and how much joy there is in that. And I think, we forget that. We forget. We are kind of caught up in the everyday, and we forget our inner nature. And our inner nature is joy and laughter and the celebration. Also the celebration of what we might call Maya, right? The illusion. It's the celebration. It's giving in to the celebration of life, and that's what transforms the everyday. Not how can I say this? Meditation is very important, and centering ourselves and the experience of samadhi, but it is the divine fool, right, that can look at the illusion and laugh. It's the divine fool that can look around and say, "This is not a hell, this is not a penance, this is not a prison, it is not something to escape, it's something that I took birth in. And I'm having sometimes a limited experience, but I took birth here to have this physical experience." So I think it's kind of funny that we spend so much of our time trying to escape it. I mean, what is there to escape, right? The things that cause us pain, the things that bring us so much pain, is when we think we are imprisoned, when we think that we're limited. You know, we are unlimited, having a very defined experience. So hopefully this poem from Hafiz will help. It says, this one's called Someone Who Can Kiss God. Come to my house late at night. Do not be shy. Hafiz will be barefoot and dancing. I will be in such a grand and generous mood. Come to my door at any hour, even if your eyes are frightened by my light. My heart and arms are open and need no rest. They will always welcome you. Come in, my dear, from that harsh world that has rained elements of stone upon your tender face. Every soul should receive a toast from us for bravery. Bring all the bottles of wine you own to this divine table, the earth we share. If your cellar is empty, this whole universe could drink forever from mine. So, I think about this as Hafiz, having the experience of God, of being spirit. And it's like coming home to ourselves. We've been looking all over. We've been weary. We've been trudging along, thinking somehow we were lost. And in that pain of feeling lost, there's the stones that rain upon our tender face. But that, is also the illusion. Right? But coming home to ourselves, to the God within us, right? It is a celebration, We rest within the tireless arms of our eternal self. I'm trying to watch the time here. I get carried away sometimes. We rest within the eternal arms of our tireless self. And that self needs no rest. That self is always in divine joy, always dancing, right? Let me read you one more. What happens? What happens when your soul begins to awaken, your eyes and your heart and the cells of your body to the great journey of love? First, there is wonderful laughter and probably precious tears, and 100 sweet promises and those heroic vows no one can ever keep. But still God is delighted and amused. You once tried to be a saint. What happens when your soul begins to awake in this world to our deep need to love and serve the friend? Oh, the beloved will send you one of his wonderful wild companions, like Hafiz. Serve the friend. The friend is, capital F, friend, God, spirit, whatever you want to call that. Serve the great friend. And, when you begin to awaken, you're so happy and joyful. Oh, I remember making many wild promises to be the saint. And I love that Hafiz says that both, what does he say? Something, God is both delighted and amused. God is both delighted and amused by that we think, that we need to be a saint, that we need to move above the human experience. And when we need it, God will send us a wild and wonderful friend like Hafiz, someone who will help us remember who we are, and that we are perfect as we are. That's the thing to remember. We are so perfect. And when we think that we're imperfect, right, that shortcoming, that's what causes us so much pain. That shortcoming within, that's the lie. That's the grand lie that causes us so much pain. It makes us wonder over and over and over. How can we get back to center? It makes us wander all over the place. trying to find peace. It's like when you have pain. It's really interesting. When you have pain, that's all you can think about, right? And you focus on the pain, and then you're in more pain, right? But if you can focus on something that is not in pain, like the tip of your finger, then you realize that place is not in pain. Well, if the tip of your finger is not in pain, then not all of you is in pain. And if not all of you is in pain, then where could the pain be? And is that something that you really need to claim? But it's something that seems so real. Anyway, I was talking with a friend the other day, and they were talking about some new work that physical therapy is doing, I guess, on pain, and teaching people, how to understand where the pain really is, that the pain actually happens in the brain. And isn't that funny, That's, we think in our thoughts, and again, the pain of separation, the pain that we're not enough, that pain. But, God sends us people, and when we're ready, we meet ourselves. Our self is sent to meet ourselves and to see just how perfect it all is. Everything is just absolutely perfect. You're perfect. I'm perfect. The day is perfect. The experience is perfect. I hope today you take a little time to meet yourself, the great friend within you. All right. 1, 2, 3. Oh my God, I love myself. And I love you. Happy Monday. I'll see you tomorrow.